Time for the hot topic of the hour. President-elect Trump says he will issue a day-one executive order slapping tariffs on Mexico, Canada, and China until they stop the flow of illegal immigrants and fentanyl into America. Fox News' Madeline Rivera is live in Washington this morning with more. Madeline.
Hi, good morning, Maria. This could all have a major impact on trade. The threats are also the biggest indication yet that President-elect Trump intends to move forward with a tough talk he espoused during the campaign trail. He wrote on Truth Social, as one of my many first executive orders, I will sign all necessary documents to charge Mexico and Canada a 25% tariff on all products coming into the United States and its ridiculous open borders. Trump also says we will be charging China an additional 10% tariff above any additional tariffs on all of their many products coming into the United States of America. He's accusing Chinese leaders of failing to follow through on its promises to impose the maximum penalty for drug dealers. Canada, Mexico, and China are the top three largest trading partners of the United States, so the tariffs could have implications for several industries like automakers, farmers, and food packagers. The reaction from international leaders was swift. A spokesman at the Chinese embassy in Washington says China believes that China-U.S. economic and trade cooperation is mutually beneficial in nature. No one will win a trade war or a tariff war. It's unclear, though, if Trump intends to follow through with the tariffs or if the rhetoric is intended as a negotiating tool. Canada's deputy prime minister says they'll continue to discuss immigration with the incoming administration, adding Canada places the highest priority on border security and the integrity of our shared border. It's an example of how governments and companies are rethinking their strategies in the wake of Trump's re-election. Maria.
All right, Madeline, thanks very much. Maddie Rivera there. Here's what Trump's incoming Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent, told me about Trump's approach to tariffs.
Donald Trump's ready on day one. When he wins, January 20th, he's going to hit the ground running, and it's going to be a growth agenda. Tariffs are going to be part of that. He was the original tariff man, and he did it to raise revenues and to protect American industry. Donald Trump has added the negotiating leg, and I think given Donald Trump's credibility on tariffs from Trump 1.0, he will hit the ground running on 2.0, and world leaders and business executives will know he means business.
Oh, yeah, and he's keeping that promise with this announcement overnight, Chris, that he's going to be slapping. These are additional tariffs that we expected anyway on China. And, of course, Mexico and Canada, he's got the USMCA deal in place, but he's got the right to renegotiate that, and it looks like he's going to do just that, Chris.
As he should. It's already working, Marie. We already heard that the Chinese car company saying we don't want to build another factory in Mexico because we're concerned how Trump will perceive it. It's showing us that he's using it as a negotiating tactic. It's working extraordinarily well. And frankly, if the U.S. cars are having 100% import in China, it's still disproportionate. This is going to tighten up the border. This is going to stop that flow of illegal drugs, these things that he ran upon. And he has the power to do it, and I think he's willing to use this stick, and I think we'll land at a lower percentage rate, but I think some tariffs are completely appropriate.
Jonathan, it's amazing to me how everybody's getting in line. Even before Trump gets in office, you're seeing a think twice about having a Chinese factory in Mexico narrative going on there in Mexico. You've got the Russians saying, I'm ready for a reset with America. You've got a handful of companies in America saying, I'm going to take my supply chains out of China and build everything in America.
Yeah, it's interesting. There's all these people, particularly on the left, that look at President Trump and say, oh, wow, he's lost his mind. What is he doing? He's doing something when the left has done nothing for the last 4 years to address what he's trying to do. So I commend the president in terms of what he's doing. But also keep in mind that these tariffs, they're level playing field tariffs, right? These countries are also imposing tariffs on our country as well. So, it doesn't just flow one way. The other thing is China has been long overdue for tariffs to be going up. They have lied, cheated, stolen, flooded the market since 1999 at least. They need to be held accountable. I don't think 10% is high enough, Maria.
Wow. Cheryl, what do you think?
Look, 80% of exports from Canada and Mexico combined come to the United States. To say that these two countries are concerned about these threats is an understatement of the morning. But I will also add that it's reported that Justin Trudeau actually called Donald Trump yesterday, about 2 hours after this announcement. They've got to be very nervous, and they should be. As far as China, look, China has continued to sell the chemicals that make fentanyl. They sell it to the cartels. The cartels move it to the United States, and we have a fentanyl crisis and more than 200 deaths per day in this nation. It has to stop. Enough is enough. And if this is the way to do it, whether it's a threat or whether it goes through, fine. The other component of this is the price, the consumer prices. Are they going to go up? Yeah, you know what? Maybe they will. But I think it's up now to these two countries and to China as well to come back to the negotiating table. And by the way, does Mexico really want to continue to be the back door for China? Ask yourself that. Or are you more concerned about the neighbor right to your north, the United States of America, who now have a new administration who is done with you and your border situation?
Well, we'll see. I mean, Cowen and Company is writing about how Trump did it. I mean, he announced it in a post last night. Trump, in his social media post Monday night, threatens the 25% tariff on Canada, Mexico, and a 10% tariff on China on January 20th. Scott Bessent has talked about this on the many times that he's joined us on this program. And he also discussed the lawfare against then candidate Trump and the impact on the dollar after Trump's former chairman of the Council of Economic Advisors, Kevin Hassett, told me nobody will want to buy treasuries in America if Donald Trump was found guilty in these legal cases and handcuffed. Watch this.
But we are starting to see foreign central banks moving out of the dollar. You know, we have never run deficits like this before, either in peacetime or during when we didn't have a recession. So we depend on foreigners to fund those deficits, and if they stop, then interest rates go higher, which is what we've seen here. Yeah. And the spectacle of a former president being hold away would not help anyone's confidence. And I think that the American people abroad don't believe that this is anything but a show trial.
And of course, all of those charges at this point have been dropped, and we are expecting they are going away now, Chris, forever. But we'll see. We wanted to show you what Scott Bessent has said on this program, not only about tariffs and the economic policy that he is going to shepherd through, but also his thoughts on all of this lawfare that has happened to Trump in the last several years, Chris.
I think this guy is showing why he's the perfect choice to take this job, right? He's even keeled, he's thoughtful, he's respected. I mean, who works for Soros and is still respected by both sides like this guy is? It's incredible. And I think his insights are right. It's all based on confidence. It's all based on leadership. And if we can't have confidence in our leaders, Trump's going to be put in jail on some trumped-up charges. I think the fact that it's gone away is good for our country. And I think the equities market and the bond market are both going to respond extraordinarily positively to this.
Well, let's be clear. President Trump will have broad presidential authority to deal with international economic emergencies and international friends. And that's something he knows very well, and he's expecting to implement it. We're just getting started this hour.